Hello friends, very good morning to one and all. This is Dr. Harshit Kumar Sharma, Assistant Professor, Jawaharlal Institute of Technology and Management. Students, today we will be discussing about frequency distribution and its related terms. So friends, what is the frequency? The number of time each value of a variable occurs, that is known as frequency. For example, let's take an example of temperature, and in this particular category of temperature 90 to 95 degree Fahrenheit we have 6 people. In the category of 95 to 100 we have 7 people, and above 100 Fahrenheit we have 2 people. Okay, so I can say that if a value of a particular variable is repeated number of times, and that particular concept is known as frequency. Suppose I have given you 10 chocolates, then 10 is your frequency. Now talking about different type of series that we have to study in business statistics. In statistics, basically data is represented into 3 types of series. Number 1 is individual series, number 2 is discrete series, and number 3 is continuous series. First, we will look about the individual series. When the items are categorized singularly and not in groups, okay, that is known as individual series. Now taking an example here, these are the marks of 5 students in the business statistics. The first student got 45, then 76, 56, 88 and 67. Students, here you can see none of the value is being repeated. So if the data is categorized only singularly but not in groups, basically it is known as individual series. And now coming to the discrete series, it is also known as ungrouped frequency distribution. One counts the number of occurrences of each variable into the data, and a bar called tally marks is put against that value when it occurs. That is known as discrete distribution of the frequency. Here you can see with the help of example, we have number of children 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And how many number of families having 0 number of children? We have 6 families who have 0 children. We have 8 families basically who have only 1 children. So here the value is given, but that is not into fraction, that is only given in the whole numbers. And if along with the values, if we are also having a frequency, then we can say it is a discrete frequency distribution, or we can say such type of series as a discrete series. See, now talking about continuous, or we can say grouped frequency distribution. If the data are divided into different type of class interval, we have also seen this particular example in the previous slides also. So when the data is divided into class interval instead of individual values, so it is known as continuous series. In this particular category 90 to 95 degree Fahrenheit, it has the fractional values also included, but in discrete variable the fractional values are not included. But in continuous series we can also include the fractional value. For example, if some people having 90.5 degree Fahrenheit, we can include that particular value in this particular interval. So if the data is given into some categories, or you can say in some particular class intervals, and along with that the frequency also given to you, that particular concept is known as, or you can say that particular series is known as continuous series. Now talking about different terms which we generally use in statistics. The first is class interval. So if we will make some groups, like we have made some class interval like 0 to 10 or 10 to 20, we have made some class interval. Okay, so that particular concept is known as class interval. We can also make it 0 to 20 or 20 to 40 or 40 to 60 and so on. That depends on our requirements. And now talking about the class limit, if we made one class interval like 0 to 10 or 10 to 20, then 10 is our lower limit and 20 is our upper limit. Okay, so 10 is the lower limit of class interval and 20 is the upper limit of class interval. Now talking about the class size. If we will find the difference between upper limit and lower limit, we got the value 10. Same with the another class interval. If we will take this particular class interval, then 20 upper limit, then 10 is the lower limit. The upper limit minus lower limit, that is known as the class size. So every time we have to find out what we have the class size. We can also say it like the class width. We can also say it like class magnitude or length. Now talking about the midpoint. How to find the midpoint of a particular class interval. Let's take an example. Okay, now the first class interval I will like to take 0 to 10. So how to take out the midpoint? We have to find the midpoint like upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. Then we can get the midpoint. In this particular class interval 0 to 10, okay, upper limit is 10, lower limit is 0. We can add lower limit plus upper limit, that is divided by 2. Then we have a midpoint, that is 5 for a class interval 0 to 10. Then we can also find out the midpoint in a different class interval. Let's say between 10 to 20, what is the midpoint? In general common sense also, we can use the common sense and also find out that the midpoint of 10 to 20 class interval is 15. How we can calculate? That is lower limit plus upper limit, that is again divided by 2. You will have a midpoint, that is 15. This is all together for the today's lecture. In the next lecture, we will come with the central tendency concept. Thank you and thank you so much.